Yes, sir.
One thing that's happened a lot with our budget crisis and stuff is with state employees. We've had to really look at how we're paying them and how we can afford to pay them. My question to you is, how would you address this? Some of our best people are getting furlough days and losing a lot of the benefits that they've worked up to and being doing their job and doing it well for 20 years, 25 years, 10 years, whatever. And people that just walking off the street and people that are incompetent and ineffectual get treated the same way. How can we structure our state system of employment so that we have the right size workforce and also the people that are performing and doing their jobs well get the reward that they need or deserve, I should say?
Well, first of all, it's all union contracts, and I mean it's all fixed, and you first in, last out, LIFO kind of stuff. Or if a person just was hired, they're the first to let go, and people have certain tenure rights and bumping rights and stuff like that. And that's just real. That's just life. I don't think you can deal with it too. What you can do is you can have you can cut back staffing through attrition. You can raise standards but to me, what I found at Hudson, when we started immediately, we didn't lay people off, we didn't buy people out, but we immediately put in attrition and then we moved people around. But then the other thing is to grow around weak people. In other words, you try to get rid of them, but the better thing is if you're growing at 10% a year, you can consolidate and then start adding strong people. So to me, economic growth is about the only way you can do it. The other thing I would do is have a covenant with state employees to simply say, I'll support you. I'll be the strongest governor to support you you've ever had in terms of professional development, in terms of salary, benefits, merit increase, those kinds of things. Provided you are just as committed and demonstrate that you're just as committed to Maine people and the Maine economy. That they should be no worse off than you are. You're going to be constrained by how well off the people of the highest salary in Franklin County is University of Maine in Farmington. Using that as an example, I would reverse that and say that if the University of Maine in Farmington was the state government, I would say, I'll support everything you're getting, but you've got to be able to go out and reach out to everybody else in this county and make sure that they're as well off as you are. And you have the power to do it. You can pass the regulations. You can help them get their permits. You can strategize this goal. And so it's really a covenant, and I think that way you're working together. But I'll do everything I can to work to incentivize, work with the unions and stuff like that to incentivize. I guess my track record has been sufficiently good at Hudson, but growth really solved it. I think we're...
One more question and then wrap up.
Yes, sir.
How do you propose we meet the 55% mandate for K-12 education?
How do we fund the 55%?
That's correct, because right now we're at about 42%, I think.
Well, first of all, I don't know, because we're going to be facing a lot of cuts. I don't see any instant way that you're going to be able to raise it to 55, but I think what you can commit to is to raise it steadily upward even as you're cutting. And I think you've got to, because somehow the state has got to show a commitment to local government that it is not passing the burden on. And I think the best, by far the best way, is to take it from the 42 to the 43, even as you cut. If you went all the way to the 55 instantly, you'd be compounding the thing. And I've taken a pledge not to raise taxes. It's nuts. But I remind you that when Ireland cut taxes, when Bill Clinton was going to fail his second term as governor, as president, I mean, he was just a disaster. I mean, everything had gone wrong for him. So he went to Dick Morris, gave Dick Morris $1 million or something, and said, Dick, what do I do? And Dick Morris says, run as a Republican. Clinton said, what do you mean? He said, well, cap welfare at so many weeks, and then put people on a bus and send them out of town, and reduce taxes. And Clinton did that, and it spun right around. I mean, those of you remember that within a couple of years, the U.S. was running surpluses. And that's what I think, that if you really work carefully with the legislature, and God willing, it'll be our legislature that is empathetic to getting the economy going. Maine can turn around. It's got so much resources. It's so valuable. Our proximity to world markets, both European and U.S. markets, is so close. But no, I don't. I can't just simply say I will commit to making it 55%. I will commit to raise it from where it is now, slowly and steadily, year by year by year.
So why don't you summarize and then we'll take a break.
Well, as I say, I'm Bill Beardsley. I live in the house my mother was born in Ellsworth, Maine, have a wood lot, and had a maple sugar orchard as a kid in 4-H. And this time of year, when I go through outside, I can smell the sap in the trees. And I just say to you that I've had a breadth of experience, a sincere commitment to the state. I think I have a pretty clear-cut, practical, common-sense strategy. I've demonstrated I can work with people, with unions, with faculty, with administrators, and my aspiration is to help transform Maine towards prosperity so young people have careers. And I thank you very much.